right?
Well, I think he's much better than he was a month ago.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, a month ago, we never would have taken him out without the walker, because he couldn't walk more than 15, 20 feet without falling.
Okay, so he's got a little more durability and stamina.
Yes.
So I'm going to laterally flex a little bit. Got it. Okay. There it goes. Okay. All right, that's the big one. Good. I just made a new online course called How to Massage Your Own Dog. So we have RAYNE back. RAYNE is a German Shepherd dog, 12 years old.
Just almost 12 and a half.
Almost 12 and a half, okay. And this is the 5th video of a series of 5 videos now. And so why don't you sit right there, RAYNE? How's that for a good spot? This is Phil, and there's Janet also, the owners. And please watch the first few videos if you want to see a recap. But let's ask you first. What have you noticed as far as usually we talk about walking. So when you walk RAYNE, he's not using his wheelchair walker.
He doesn't use the walker. He'll use it like once every other day when we want to take him on a long walk. But he seems to be very good without it. He's not dragging his feet. The walks are short, but they're slowly getting longer.
What's a short walk? How many minutes?
A short walk for him, a lot of it is just standing around. He doesn't want to walk, but it might be like 10 minutes.
Okay. And then if you take him on a longer walk with the wheelchair walker thingy?
We can take him out for an hour. Sometimes we'll bring him to a local park where he'll play with other dogs as best he can.
Yeah. Now, when we started though, was he always, like, what have you seen change from where we started the very first time till now? So he needs the walker less. That's a little less, correct?
I don't think he needs to walk. He's learning to walk more without the walker.
Okay.
So
and
he's building the muscle.
Is he cutting up his knuckles as much?
No, he was only doing that when he was using the walker without his dog booties.
Yeah, and what I'm talking about there is if his paws would drag, they would get scraped up, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, it would be great if we said we've created a miracle. There's been no miracle. We've done some good work, but we haven't transformed him into a different dog. So I don't want people watching to think that, right?
Well, I think he's much better than he was a month ago.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, a month ago, we never would have taken him out without the walker, because he couldn't walk more than 15, 20 feet without falling.
Okay, so he's got a little more durability and stamina.
Yes.
Okay, I just don't ever like to jump to a conclusion that I've done something or supported something that I wasn't a part of. So, I err on the side of being humble about that, not going, oh, that was something I did. So that's not my style. All right, so we're gonna do a nice session today for RAYNE. We're just gonna go through everything again. I was talking to Janet just a couple of minutes ago that we know that lower lumbar area, the L5, L6, can be a hot spot for any dog that has that lower back weakness, lower back lameness, lower back limping. Those last few lumbars on the dog or human or horse could be the most tender and vulnerable to injury, and that make a big difference on how the dog or any quadruped walks. So we're going to be gentle around there, but also see if we can, support that. Let's get started. I'm going to ask you to bring RAYNE a little closer. If
RAYNE, come up, come on. And he's like, I'm comfortable. I'm going to stay here.
So maybe I can work with him where he is. We'll just have to get. Let's start. We'll try one.
Now he still has trouble getting up off the floor. Go ahead, walk a little bit up. Yeah.
And you said whenever you take him on walks, everybody likes to say hello to him, right?
He's
very popular.
very popular, especially with the kids.
Come back this way, right? Okay. Kids love him, right?
Oh, they definitely love him.
So I'm going to start massaging up here at the occiput, the pole area, that C0 or occiput C1 area. I'm now at the wings of the atlas between the C1 and the base of the skull. And the symmetry there is pretty good, and I'm checking rotation and seeing if he'll bring his nose down a little bit. Good, and then bring his head up. And massaging down the neck now. So I'm working the neck muscles, doing a nice strong massage on his neck. I haven't done any chiropractic adjustments yet. I'm just checking things out. I do feel a little misalignment here at C4 on the right, but I'm gonna wait a second and just massage it for a minute. A little bit here, again on C5 on the left, which we've done in the past. You'll see that on another video if you look back. Massaging the jaw, working his face a little bit. Okay, so Rain, what do you think? Can we do a little work with you today? Can I adjust a few spots? You just want to lay down. Okay. All right, what do you think if we do a little bit of work? I did notice that C4 on the right, so maybe we'll do that one. Do you think it's okay if we start? How do you feel about that? Are you guys okay if I start? Janet, are you okay? Okay. So here's that one. So I'm going to laterally flex a little bit. Got it. Okay. Think about that for a second. He must be warm today. It's really warm out today.
Yeah, he doesn't really react well to this. I mean, he's waiting for the hydrants to open up in the neighborhood.
He likes that?
Oh, he loves going to the hydrants.
So what that means, if you're not from New York, because a lot of people watching are not from New York, we have fire hydrants in the city areas that they'll take off one of the big caps, and they'll put a cap that sprays water. So what you do is you take a big wrench and put it on top, and you turn off the fire hydrant. Then you can take the cap out and it won't explode with water, and you put the sprinkler cap on it and you put that on tight. Then you undo the original main and water will squirt out, and kids and dogs can play in the squirting water. And you can look it up on Google Images and put in fire hydrant sprinkler New York City, and you'll see what people do. It's a lot of fun. And he likes it, right?
Oh, he loves it.
Did I describe that correctly? How it's done?
Yes.
Yeah. They do that on my block. There's one that's always on already. You know, they already started it on these warm days. Okay, so now I'm on the left side of the withers, T3. Withers are T3 through T8. And horses, we really think of horses with withers, but dogs have the withers too. This area up here between the shoulder blades and coming down to the height of the back here. And I'm now massaging. So I'm doing kind of a rotating motion into these left cervical and then upper thoracic area. And that should feel good because these are just tight muscles. Pull my little chair over here. All right, Rain, what do you think of this? Is this okay? Is the pressure pretty good? Okay. So my thumb is holding, may I touch your knee for a second?
Yeah.
So I'm, here, look at his knee. So I'm on a muscle like this, and this is the pressure I'm putting. But I'm on a muscle right now at T1. I moved up a little bit. I was at T3, but now I went up where I'm following the muscle knot. And I'm just working on that muscle. There we go. And I'm moving up again. So now I'm at C5, which I've adjusted before in previous videos. And I'm just working the rotation there and doing some massage work. So now I'm doing like this with my thumbs and fingers. Okay? Did you try any, were you able to figure out a way to get RAYNE's front feet up like one step of height and to put more weight on his?
He does that. We
Yeah.
pretty much every walk.
Just to exercise the back end, the glutes and the hips.
No, he does that. We have there's 2 steps outside our building of different heights, so we bounce back and forth between them.
Good.
And he's
Does he quiver and eventually give up on it, or does he can hold it pretty good?
After close to a minute and a half, he starts doing that.
He shakes a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's good. So he's doing his leg workout.
Yeah. No, he's doing that. He does pretty well with it.
Good.
I was telling Janet that maybe we should try having him do it on 2 steps.
You mean go 2 steps height?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you could, that would be even better because it just puts more of a load on the rear end. And until it doesn't make sense, it's a good exercise to do. And what I mean by that is, if right away it looks like he's in pain or uncomfortable, then that's the answer. The answer is don't do it. But if he's just getting tired after 90 seconds, that's appropriate because you're exercising those muscles. And what we were saying in the last video is if a dog, here I'll do it right now. You can watch this, Rain. So dog is here, right, on all 4s, and then we ask him to put his feet up on a step. This would be too small, but let's say it's a steps to a staircase. And then, so now he's up here like this, and this loads up the back end more. Can you guys see my back end here? And after about a minute and a half with an older dog, their legs will start going like this. And that means they're done and they can stop. And then you might do it again and do another set. So in a way, this is a way that we're doing like squats for a dog to build up the glutes, the quads, the hamstrings all together with this kind of isolated motion. And so if you can take them up to a higher step even, that puts more of a load and more resistance on the back end. The main thing is just to do it often because you're fighting, the breakdown of muscle strength, and you're trying to preserve and maintain and build so he doesn't have so much muscle loss. When you have an older senior dog, when you have pinched nerves or any type of muscle wasting that's causing that, it happens really fast. And you might have noticed that too when he started to turn the corner and become, lose some of his function of his rear end, the muscle loss was probably fast. And you can regain it though too. It's possible for it to come back. I'm talking too much again, aren't I? I understand. All right, I'll go back to work. So we were doing this muscle thing here. I think Rain was like, oh my God, he talks so much. He just should work on me. So I'm going to work on you again. Janet's agreeing. Janet's like, yeah, it's true. Okay, so here's this one, okay? Come down the back. Doing one spinous at a time, one vertebra at a time, and this is where it gets tough. And you can almost feel, Phil, rub your hand right here where I am. So you'll start higher, nice and soft, keep your hands like this, no, just like this, and then right here is the first bump.
Yeah,
that's the big lump. Right there, right there.
Yeah.
So start again, you come down, and it's right there is the lump. So I'm gonna do that because I wanna vibrate that a little bit. I'm going to use this instrument. And this is a percussive instrument that does 10 to 12 impulses per second. So it feels like this. Not too bad, right?
That's fine. No, you're not going anywhere.
Now I'm at the sacral base. Here's the lower lumbar, sacral base, lumbosacral joint. I'm on the sacrum now. I'm switching to this instrument, which is an activator, and doing a single tap on the hip socket. All right, eventually I stopped talking, Rain, and I work, so sorry I was talking so much. Okay, and I'm going to do one by hand, okay? Okay. There it goes.
Okay.
All right, that's the big one.
Good boy.
I'm going to massage your hips and then we'll be done, okay? That one clicked a little bit, Janet. So that's the one we talked about before. That's the real tender one at L5, L6. Dogs have more lumbars than we do. They have 7 cervicals, 13 thoracics, and 7 lumbars, but it's the 5, 6, and 6, 7 that he gets super tight. Now, you might feel this muscle here. Put your fingertips here, Phil. This muscle's tight right there.
Okay.
And that's what I'm going to work next. And that's around the hip. I'm going to do a couple little taps in there. Watch the leg jump. So I'm on a reflex. Do you see that? So that instrument, the activator, has a good impulse. It pushes about 1 millimeter to 2 millimeters per thrust. I can control the weight of the thrust with this dial. And I've had this instrument for 22 years and it's in pristine condition, so I love it still. I kind of can do it blindfolded at this point. 22 years is a long time to, have a touch for it. So I'm in this tender muscle now in the hip. Now I'm going to reach under and go into the iliopsoas, which is the hip flexor. So I'm going to work both sides of the hips at the same time. And this is a little bit harder to do at home because you have to really kind of know how to find the iliopsoas, the hip flexor, and I'm just working that now. Sorry, brain, I'm almost done on this side. There it is. So now I'm going to do one more little spot here with the percussive instrument. Right, that's good. Let me check the quad, on the left quad, reaching under, getting the hamstring. Excuse me, got a hair in my mouth. Where do you think that came from?
No, stay.
I'm going to go to your side now, Phil.
Stay.
Good, thank you. So now I'm on the right hip. I might have you even swing all the way over. Phil, can you move to this chair? Could you hop? Ooh,
Sure.
try to keep them where I do, and you'll sit on that little one here. So,
All right, I got it. All right.
I've always been sensitive to hair and dust, and even as a kid.
Don't get a German Shepherd.
We had an old English sheepdog when I was growing up, and that produced a lot of hair all over the place. Have you seen them?
Oh, yeah.
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 Like really long, a lot of hairs.
I used to have
Yeah.
a German Shepherd Chow mix,
A lot of hair.
and she was, in the wintertime, she was all hair. All you saw were 2 little eyes, and in the summertime, she was about this wide, but in wintertime, she was that wide because of all the fur.
My dad bred the old English sheepdogs and also was in the show scene where we would go to dog shows every weekend my entire childhood. There you go, that's a good spot. And our family dog was named Daisy, and her hair would come across her eyes like this, like they do, and my dad often put them up in like a little barrette or a little hair tie thing. But if not, we would take the dog on a walk, and if you didn't really pay attention, the dog could walk into a parked car. Because you're not really paying attention. You're looking around, you're talking to someone else, and boom! The dog is like, whoa, and then goes around the car. See, that was negligence, of course, on our part. But you had to be careful because the dog would literally walk into a tree or a park. Unless you tied the hair up, and then it wouldn't. So right now I'm rubbing out the right hip socket. And I've been on it this whole time. And this is a tight side also. Like we think of the left side because it drifts over when RAYNE walks. But this side takes a lot of the burden of the limping in compensation because it's more of a stabilizing side. And I'm just taking a little time massaging this. And this is taut, tender muscular fibers that I'm on. And I'm just keep at it. I'm just rubbing. And he's letting me work on it, so I'm going to just keep at it for a while. And so my fingers are in there like this. Right, Rain? Is that what I do? All right.
I got you.
Luckily, I'm comfortable.
No.
Leaning against the wall here. All right, so I'm still working in here. And I'm going to adjust something that I found. I don't want to lose my spot. So here it is. I'm doing this. I touch. Now watch his front back foot. So I'm about to click it. Watch the tip of his right foot jump. And let's do one more. I'm taking another angle. Do you see it?
Mm-hmm.
So if you think I'm not doing anything, watch that right back leg. Here's one more. Here it goes. So I'm on a neuromuscular junction that innervates all the way down the leg and gets the whole branch.
Relax.
So a lot of people go, does that do anything? Well, it does. It works on the whole kinetic chain. So I'm up here at the hip. We got the hip. We got the pelvis. We have the femoral head. I'm right at the femoral head right now. We have the femur. We have the muscles, the quadriceps, the hamstrings, the glutes, the pelvic floor muscles. We go down into the gastrocnemius and down the foot, and the reflexes go all the way to the tip of the toes. And as you can see, I'm on such a great neuromuscular junction up here that if I stimulate it with that type of impulse, you'll see it all the way down to the feet. And that's what I'm trying to do because we're trying to get a little more energy and life into his rear end, into his legs, into his rear end gait, and help rear end lameness, which he's been working towards making a comeback. And he's a senior dog, so some of the stuff's tough, but that's why I'm so glad you're doing some of the muscle building exercises. And if you could do that 7 days a week, it would even be better. You know, whenever you can, make him challenge. You could even do it with a chair. You could just pick up his legs, put it on a chair, and have him hold it for 30 seconds. And then take him down. Now that wouldn't be the best. The best would be something a little lower.
Wayne, relax.
On the final seconds now, and I'm going to go back to this spot. Now I'm in a different area now. Now I'm on what's called the mammillary process, and I'm on actually L2 now. And the mammillary process is only on the lumbars, meaning the thoracics and the cervicals don't have a mammillary process. It's a different type of bone, and that one, mammillary process. And here is the right mammillary process of L1. And I like what I see. Things will look good today. Okay, we're done. Everybody leave. Here's a nice shake. Okay, everybody leave RAYNE a comment if you'd like. Root him on. He's such a good guy. And remember to see what the fire hydrant sprinkler thing looks like if you've never
I
seen
may
that.
have a video on my phone.
You do? Would you send it to us?
Yeah, sure.
You know, before you leave today, and then
Yeah, well, no,
Lisa can integrate it into the video.
Yeah.
RAYNE, thank you for letting me work with you today. Are you okay? Let me come around and say hello. Hi, RAYNE. Thanks for being here today. Let me give you a little. No, I guess no kiss. I was going to give him a kiss, but you know,
He wants to
maybe
get
he's
out.
like, it's time for me to go home. All right, thanks everybody.
Well, I think he's much better than he was a month ago.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, a month ago we never would have taken him out without the walker because he couldn't walk more than 15, 20 feet without falling.
Okay, so he's got a little more durability